Hello, I'm Joe Crawford with Estill Development Alliance, and this is our youth panel for the spring of 2023. We're down here at the session room at Steam Engine Pizza Pub, and we're going to be talking with 4 of our local teenagers about some of the issues that affect them and how they feel about it. We're going to be basing this off of the data that we collected from the youth survey conducted last spring, and try to just get some more insight into how they view our community, basically. So without further ado, we'll get started, and I'll let them introduce themselves and I guess tell you what grade they are in currently. And I'll start with Alyssa.
Okay. I'm Alyssa Muncie, and I'm a senior this year. So.
I'm Kylee, and I'm a freshman.
Very nice.
I'm Luke Hughes, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Alyssa, I'm a sophomore.
Excellent. So we've got a nice representation. That's wonderful. We'll jump right into it. So, kind of moving from the most overwhelming responses and going down from there. So, first of all, based on the survey results. And again, to let everybody know, that survey was given to all 6th through 12th graders in Estill County schools, and that was as of last spring. So it's a pretty good range there. From the survey, over 83% of our young people felt that we need more fun outdoor activities for youth. That was overwhelmingly the biggest thing that folks wanted to let us know. So as far as fun outdoor activities, kind of what does that mean to you? What do you think our young people are looking for in outdoor activities? And I'll start with Luke, because he's chomping at the bit.
I don't know. I mean, we got a park and some of us go there, but besides outdoor activities that are like a public thing, that's really about it in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't know. I think people are just looking for some place to go and just do something.
Right.
You know.
That's a good comment. Kylee?
I feel like more places to get kids active, places to play sports would be nice. So I don't know,
So more than baseball fields and basketball courts, like more kinds of sports?
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's good. Ella?
I love riding my bike, and I live in town, so that's not something I really get to do a lot. And at the park, I don't think you can ride a bike along the sidewalk trails there, so just somewhere for people to do that that's kind of safe.
Maybe you need to be a better bike rider if you can make those little
Yeah.
corners.
Maybe.
No, really. No, I get what you're saying. That's good. Alyssa?
I know we have the park out past the high school, but I don't know, it's kind of far out there, and there's not a whole lot there. There is some paths on it, and I know they were starting to build stuff on it, but other than that, there's not really anything besides the park for the kids.
Gotcha. All right. Good answers. See, we broke the ice. Everybody did well. Nobody cussed or anything. I'm proud of you. That's great. Okay, cool. So moving along here, over 78% of our young people felt that we need more programs allowing youth involvement. That's kind of a broad statement, but so 78%, we need more programs allowing youth involvement. So what does that mean to you? And I'll start with Ella.
Well, I've done a lot of things like my mamaw is in Kiwanis, so I've been to many Kiwanis events with her, so that's kind of an organization. But yeah, a lot of the organizations like this and what we do around town, I don't think kids know a lot about them. Yeah. They're just kind of undereducated about it.
Excellent. Okay. I'll go to Alyssa.
I'd have to say the same thing. There is groups and stuff like that, but you hear about them, but that's not anything that I guess we're really know that are acknowledged about.
Okay. Kylee?
I feel like 4-H would be something that kids could help get involved in, but it needs to be more advertised.
Okay, so getting the word out.
Yeah.
Excellent. Luke?
I would agree with what everyone else said so far, surprisingly. So I'm a member of the River City Players. I'm the youth director, and just as an example, they used to do, a lot of kids plays, and then COVID hit, and everything kind of, and they really haven't done anything since. You really haven't heard about them. So I think that's another thing that's like led to where you don't hear as much about really any organization anymore, just because COVID happened and stuff just stopped.
We kind of lost our momentum.
Yeah.
So what we do have needs to be better promoted especially among our youth.
Because we do have programs, and they do have youth involvement. It's just not known.
Right. And we could use more as far as we do have some really great organizations, and I know they want to have more youth involvement, but we got to get the rubber to meet the road. So excellent comments. Very nice. Moving on. Over 76%, let me see if I can talk like a human. Over 76% of our young people felt that we need to focus on being healthier as a community. Now that can mean a number of things. So what do you think that means from your perspective? And I'll start with Kylee.
I don't really know. I don't know how to respond to that.
Okay, that's fine. Luke, you've always got something to say.
Maybe not always something good, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess the word healthier could mean more like more cooperative. I guess I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I guess in instance this is to help be more healthier, more cooperative. So.
Wow, that was a nice twist. I like what you did there.
Always got something to say.
Ella.
I think we have a lot of problems, not just like in the youth, but overall with like drug use and stuff. And I think that the point of like wanting to have more organizations and stuff is to kind of distract the mind, give teens something else to do that's like, okay, we can still have fun, we can still be with our friends without doing bad stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you. Alyssa?
I don't know, like here in like health, I guess it's kind of like maybe fitness or anything like that. So there's not anything outside of like school sports or like younger kid sports. Like I know other places have like your, say, slow pitch like groups and like that get together or like stuff like that.
So more of a rec league?
Yeah. So like for like your older people, like they can all come together and like play sports again, or like we have like one gym, so everybody has to go to either like drive to like another gym or like stuff like that.
I didn't even know we had a gym.
No, central office.
Isn't that like what's the gym beside what is it, O'Reilly's?
In West Urban, yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Oh, you mean workout gym?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's gym. You need to work out more, Luke.
Yeah, I know.
That was good. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Joe.
Moving on. This, and I'm, yeah. Okay. Over 73% of our young people felt that we need more youth arts and culture programs. And given his prior comment, I will start with Luke on this one.
Well, so youth art and culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I don't know. So like I said, we have the River City Players as like an artistic outlook, a theater group. We have the Arts Council, but I don't even hear about the Arts Council really. But like I said, River City Players, they did a lot of stuff with, child plays before COVID, and after COVID, they had a play that was going, COVID hit, it just stopped,
Right.
and they haven't really picked up any play since. Yeah.
So it's about time, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Now you get me direct.
Okay, from arts and culture, Kylee, what do you think?
I feel like we need to like know more about the county. I've lived here for I'd say like 5 years now, and I don't know any history or nothing. And like my whole family grew up here, so I feel like knowing more about the county could make me feel more involved.
That's excellent. I love that. Thank you. That's a really good point. Alyssa, what do you think? Arts and culture. Okay, you want to pass on that
Yeah,
one? That's
we'll
fine.
pass on that one.
Okay. Ella?
So we used to have open mics here,
Uh-huh.
and I think that it would, yeah, my dad ran them.
I was about to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Wish I could have
I
come.
think that it would be like less intimidating maybe if it was more geared towards like a youth kind of program. You can kind of showcase
Mhm.
musical talents, or even if you wanted to come in here and hang some art up, people can just like showcase kind of that, just an opportunity that'll feel less like scary maybe.
So do you feel like there are enough youth artists and musicians that there would be a need for a showcase like that?
I think so. I think a lot of people just have a lot of talent and don't know what to do with it.
I agree with that.
Well, we're getting some good sound bites tonight. I appreciate that. That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Next, highlighted, over 70% of our young people felt that we should have more youth leadership training in our community. So I'll start with Alyssa on that one. What do you think?
Like, I know, especially like with leadership training, like, oh, if you're in a club, a lot of us go to leadership trainings, but if you're not really in a club, you don't know anything, like, you don't learn anything about it. So if it was just more, I guess, brought into the schools or something like that, I feel like it'd be a lot better, because if you're not in a club that like, goes to the trainings, then you don't know.
You don't have the opportunity?
Yeah, you don't have
Right.
opportunity to learn anything.
Excellent. Kylee, you have any thoughts?
I'd have to agree with her because it's mostly just lack of opportunity. Like some kids, they don't, like to be in these clubs, you have to be able to pay the money to have your membership. So if you like can't pay the money, then you don't get to go on the trips and you don't really get the leadership training.
Excellent point. Very nice. Thank you. Ella?
I think Europe at school has helped a lot with opportunities, like on field trips that are free and stuff.
Mhm.
But outside of school, I am a junior mentor at Camp Mariposa, and I think outside of like the parameters of that camp, there's not a lot of like mentorship opportunities for kids. Like if they wanted to do something in the summer, like a camp or something.
Mm-hmm. So even talking about kind of as a senior mentor to be the big to other littles locally, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. Thank you. Luke, what do you think?
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of something to say.
That's right. You can pass. I won't hold it against you.
I'll be fine probably, but I don't know. Like, so I'll agree with what they said. We do have a lot of like clubs and programs at our school that do, promote or at least try to promote some leadership, whatever's. And some of them do require money, but some of them are free. And but the thing is I think that a lot of youth today, some of them just don't necessarily care about those types of things. And I feel like there's not enough people who do care to make the leadership programs like have any momentum, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It sounds like that we have a gap that we definitely need to fill as a community there.
Yeah.
So that's a really good point. Thank you. Excellent. Okay. Well, and I want to bring up too, we've got to make clear to everyone that there are different kinds of leaders.
Yeah.
That you can be a leader without being at the front of the pack waving your sword. There are plenty of ways to lead in our community. So we need to make sure everybody knows that and has the opportunity to do it. Okay, I'll shut up. This isn't about me. Okay, so over 58%, so we're getting down to close to the half and half here, but 58% were generally happy living in Estill County. The top positive reasons that folks listed for living here were their friends are here, they have good schools and teachers, their family is here, nice people, it's inclusive, and that it's home. The top negatives that were listed for living here, there is not enough to do, and that was by a large margin. There aren't enough jobs or opportunities. People are mean or closed-minded, and it's unsafe. There's too much crime or drug use. So as far as being generally happy to be here, 58%. So it's a significant portion that don't feel happy about being here. So I'll just open it up to you as far as any comments that you might have about any of that, and I'll start with Kylee.
Well, I moved here when I was 9.
Mhm.
So I lived in Richmond, which I feel like wherever you go, there's going to be drug use. But from living in a different county, I do believe that it is a little lower here, just because it's a smaller county. But you kind of have to go to Richmond to do stuff.
Yeah.
So you agree with by a large margin, there's not enough to do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll toss it to Luke.
I don't know. I think that those reasons that people enjoy living here also kind of go, hand in foot with the reasons why they don't like living here. That they live here and they're glad because, their friends, their family, they've been here their entire life. It's home, it's safe. They know it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're not happy with it because there is nothing to do.
Yeah.
No real opportunity. So I think those kind of go hand in foot,
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just had in my mind you actually putting your hand and your foot together. So I
Thank
enjoyed
you.
that. Appreciate it. Ella, what do you think?
So anyone that knows me knows I'm not a homebody. So I do not plan on staying in Estill all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the reason for that is, there are opportunities out there that I just can't get here, or maybe even in the state of Kentucky. And I think that a lot of people here really try to be comfortable with the parameters of what you can do
Yeah.
here. And I think that's wonderful and great, but I also think that people need to be encouraged to maybe follow that dream or take that step to maybe get out of their comfort zone and do something.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's a good perspective. Thank you. Alyssa.
Okay, so I would kind of say like the opposite, I guess, of that. Like I'm like a home person. I like the small town feel. I like all the it's kind of sometimes it's good because you know everybody, but at the same time it's kind of bad sometimes because you know everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like the small town of like if something happens, you can go to your next door neighbor and be like, hey, can you help with this? If you go, or say like you're on the side of the road and you get a flat tire, somebody is willing to stop because it's the small town. If you go to like your bigger places, you don't know anybody. Like you might have your few people, but you're not going to know everybody, and something could happen and nobody's around, or they're less likely to stop. But I like the small town stuff, but you're always gonna have problems in big or small places. I guess you just have to, if you have like your dreams, you can accomplish them, but even still in the small place. So yeah, you might have to go to other places, but you can always make your dreams happen in a small place. You just have to, I guess, kind of think outside of the box there and just push it in the small area.
Well, and just those two perspectives, it's so wonderful because I know that you all are on the same page and you understand where the other's coming from. But can you all agree that we can maintain the small community feel that we have, but also make it better and kind of push the boundaries on sort of what's acceptable? What can your dreams be?
Absolutely.
So that's good. Awesome. I don't know if what I said made any sense, but you agreed with me, so great. Along those same lines, and this one was one of the ones that really rung a bell for me. Over 52%, I could say that also as only 52% of our young people felt that their community cares about them. And it's the same kind of thing, the positive reasons that were given. They feel welcome or included. They have family here and they feel loved, and that people will do anything for you. Negative reasons were that they're not known. I'm guessing that was referring to family name or something along those lines. Some people are selfish or fake, or they don't care, and discrimination. So given that basically only half of our young people feels that the broader community cares about them, what are your thoughts along those lines? And I'll start with Alyssa this time.
I guess it's kind of like, I feel like there's always people that are like they might not show it, but they're always going to be watching you. They're always going to be cheering from you from like the back. You might not know it, but they're always kind of there. So like I guess as another small town kind of thing, or really any other town, if a team wins something or a person does anything, it can be put in the newspaper, or it's like people share it around the community quickly, or if a team wins, they go around the courthouse and everybody comes out, or everybody like welcomes them back. And it's like us, like when we went to like the Sweet 16, a lot of people would have been like, it's just a small town team, but like we shut everything down and went and watched them. And
Right.
like, it's kind of like people care about you and everything, but like you might not see it because it's all kind of like behind the scenes. But like there's always people that are there for you.
Right. Kylee, what are your thoughts?
I feel opposite of what you said, because I feel like since we are a small community, everyone cares for everybody. Like what she said, like when you win, you go around the courthouse, stuff like that.
Excellent. Okay. Luke?
I don't know. I'll agree with what they said to some extent, that, when, you win, you get celebrated. You do something good, it gets put in the newspaper, people know about it.
Mhm.
I'll agree with that. But I'll also say that, for the 48% that say they don't feel welcome for whatever reason, specifically the discrimination reason is, because we are a small western town, or what I say western, southern town, a lot of us have more conservative views. And I think that, some of the youth who is of some minority group might, not even necessarily if it's real or not, they might feel discriminated against in some form or fashion.
Right.
Whether on purpose, real, fake, just, I don't know. And that might be because of just this being a small southern town, but I don't know.
That's okay. I
don't
see
know
where
I'm
you're going.
with.
I see where you're going. That's good. Thank you. Ella?
I want to piggyback off of what everyone said. I think a lot of things do get celebrated, but there's also kids that maybe aren't in extracurriculars, or they aren't in clubs, and maybe they don't feel celebrated, or they don't feel recognized for some of the things that they do. And I think everyone just needs to be kind. I mean, just show some kindness. I mean, even if you don't agree with someone, or maybe soccer's not your thing, and the soccer team just won, I mean, just be there. You would want someone to be there for you. So.
For you all at this table, do you feel like institutions in the community could do a better job of outreach, of reaching some of the unaffiliated kids that you're talking about? Not just celebrating because somebody won something big, but actually reaching out and trying to show that they care more, just because, you're a kid and you are in Estill County.
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, it's a tall order, because you can't just show up at the high school one day and be like, hey, I care about you, because, you're going to jail. But I don't know. That's a big question that we're going to have to try to figure out, is how can the community do a better job of showing our young people that they do care? Because I'm around the adults in the community all the time, and I know that they care. They really do. It's kind of hard to show it sometimes, So we'll figure it out. Okay, moving on. This is kind of along the same lines. Over 47% of our young people felt that they have the opportunity to make Estill County a better place to live, and then an additional 34% said maybe. So this is kind of all over the board. But I can ask each of you personally, do you feel like you have the opportunity to make this a better place to live? I'll start with Ella.
I think so. I think it's just a lot of the time people don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect. Yeah, that's good. Luke?
I'd agree with that. I don't think a lot of people know I feel like a lot of people want to and might even have, an idea in mind or a plan in mind. They just don't know who to show that plan to, that they'll know that, if we tell this person, if we work with this person, it'll definitely be whatever, and won't just be shrugged off and just,
And trying to Google
Yeah.
that kind of information is pretty tough.
Yeah.
All right. Alyssa?
I have to agree. Like, it's the same thing. It's just, it's kind of hard to have an vision and put it into play. It's always kind of, you don't think you can do something. Like there very well could be the pieces all to the puzzle, but you just don't know how to put it all together to actually make it work.
That's good points. Thank you. Kylee?
I agree with everyone. I feel like if you set your mind to something, you can do it, but it's just how, like, where do you set your mind to?
Right. Excellent. Thank you all. Okay, this is another one that really stood out to me. Over 40% of our young people said that they struggle with depression, anxiety, or other mental and emotional health issues. And then 41% felt that there isn't enough support for young people dealing with those issues. So comments on that, and I'll start with Kylee.
I feel like there definitely is not enough because, yeah, we have school counselors and they can get you help, but some people just aren't brave enough to go talk to someone about their problems.
And not even brave, but I mean overcoming that to just talk to someone. Yeah, definitely. Alyssa?
I guess the same thing. It's just a lot of people they don't feel comfortable to talk about how they feel. It's kind of hard to tell someone else how you feel about something because you don't want to feel judged or feel like you're any less than you are. So.
Excellent. Thank you. Luke?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because, just in general, being teens in a high school setting,
Right.
It's rough, you're going to have, mental problems. And I think a lot of people are scared to talk about them with anyone because they're too afraid, so, you go to the counselor and they're like, okay, you say, we legally have to report it. And I think a lot of people are afraid that they will say something and get reported.
Right.
So.
Well, and not knowing what the consequences of
just
that would
afraid
be.
that they're gonna, maybe get sent off to some, institution, and then they'll come back, and then everyone's gonna be like, oh, they did
Right.
this,
Well, and even going to talk to the counselor
Yeah.
and then other people
Yeah.
over here or something like that. It's heavy. Ella?
Well, the nearest non-co-op counselor's office is in Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
With LLC or whatever company
Yeah.
you're trying to go to. And I think a lot of people don't get support from the people that they want to talk to about their mental health. It's
'Cause-
maybe they think it's frowned upon, or maybe it's just like, oh, we'll just get over it. And I think a lot of people don't know how to process that kind of response.
And I'll add to that. I think that a lot of times kids our age, even if they want to talk about it, even if they do want help, which some of them don't really want to talk about it at all or don't want to get help at all, but for the ones who do, I think that they don't necessarily want to talk to a counselor or a therapist or seek, professional help. I think at the end of the day, they just want to talk to a friend, somebody that they can trust, somebody that they do care about and they know cares about them on a personal level. But I also think that they're still scared that,
Sure.
if
You
they
think
say
they're
this,
your friend, but
yeah,
yeah.
you don't really know.
Do you think, I'm going off script again. Do you feel like this is a generational thing that we have to work through? Because I know even my generation, which I know I'm old, it wasn't quite as socially acceptable to admit that you had some sort of issue that you needed help with. And it's so much more, at least my experience, it's so much more universally accepted now. And I mean, your all's generation, that's just part of, some people need to talk to somebody, and really everybody needs to talk to somebody about something. But do you feel like that kind of culture shift has sort of caused a rub between older people and younger people?
Maybe.
I think it's caused a rub in a different way,
Mhm.
because I think where you guys had maybe had problems with the acceptance part, I think we have more causes for mental health issues with social media. That's a big
Yeah.
one.
COVID now.
Yeah.
COVID, year of isolation.
Wow. So you say it's 1,000 wonders that anybody can even walk around and dress themselves at this point? I mean, it's because everything's just been, it has been kind of turned upside down.
It's like what Luke said. I mean, for the year that you were quarantined, the only thing you had was social media, and then
Yeah.
it's just like it can be kind of toxic.
Right, right. Wow, okay. Sorry, I'll stay on script.
Very good.
But that, I mean, seriously, that is a huge thing, and I know more folks are talking about it, not just in our community, but everywhere. But yeah, that's a big thing that we've got to figure out as a community on how we can support you all. Okay, next. The top qualities that make a community that our young people want to live in, according to the survey, were up at the top: good jobs, good schools, a good place to raise kids, and a clean environment. Got any thoughts on that? Are those surprising at all?
No.
It's kind of general, isn't it? Is there anything missing from that list that you felt like would be there?
I don't know. I feel like we've touched on everything in that list so far, really.
So far, yeah. That's one thing about surveys. They kind of ask you the same thing over and over. Make sure you're not lying.
Overall safety, maybe, like just as a general term.
That's good. All right, thank you. Okay, into the nitty-gritty. So when addressing, and I always put it in quotes, something for the kids to do, because I hear that constantly around the community. We need something for the kids to do. Our young people felt that the most popular, quote, things for kids to do would be, at 11%, more and better parks, almost 11% more sports, almost 10% places to hang out, over 7% more outdoor activities, 7% specifically bowling, 7% more and better events, and 7% a community center with fun stuff. So comments about that list, and if you need me to go back over it, I'm happy to. But something for the kids to do. Any surprises or any insight that you'd like to add there? I'll start with Kylee.
I feel like to touch like all the bases would be like a youth center.
Mhm.
So it kind of would hit all the topics.
Okay. Alyssa?
I would probably say the same thing. It's just a youth center where if you want to just go hang out with your friends, it's a safe place for kids to hang out. Or if you want to play sports, they have like you can play different sports there. If you wanted to work out, you could go over there and work out. Or even like having people come in maybe once a month and do like paint with people, or
different
like
classes.
just have different classes where if somebody wants to do something, they can go in there and sign up for the class and do it.
All right. Excellent. Ella?
I think like just having a place to hang out like hits home for me, because I mean, you just want to go chill with your friends, but you don't really want to go somewhere or do anything. It's just kind of like a place to chill. I mean, if I'm sitting at home and don't want to study in my room, I mean, I can drive somewhere and sit in some lounge chairs and I don't know, read my book or something, just
Right.
to get out of the house. But you don't always have to go do something.
Well, and know that it's a safe
Yeah.
environment, and you're allowed to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a parking lot.
No.
Luke?
Yeah, I'd agree with everything everyone said. That all those things. We don't necessarily need specifically something outdoors. We don't specifically need more sports or more parks. We need something to just do. Simple as that. Just go and just be there, really. So,
Right.
Yeah, and have the option to do stuff, of course, because that's.
Yeah. You can't just sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
You
talk.
could. Well, for part of the time.
Some people, at least.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah.
Well, Ella will be over there reading.
Oh, that's boring.
Sipping my coffee.
Right. Your green.
My green drink.
Yeah.
Your green mantra.
Yes.
All right. Excellent. Thank you all for that. The last big question from the survey I wanted to touch on, and this was the last one that was telling for me. The top things that our young people believed adults should know about being a young person in Estill County were, at 40%, it's harder than adults think. After that, they want to be heard. Bullying, discrimination, and mental health need more attention. The community is boring. And kids like to hang out and have fun. at 10%. So the big thing there is, okay, I'm a kid and I have an opportunity to tell adults what they need to know about me, and I want them to know it's harder than they think it is. So I mean, why do you think that is? Where did these numbers come from? I'll go to Luke first.
I don't know. I think that if you go up to an adult, like me, when I talk to my parents, things that I hear over and over again is, well, we were kids too at one point, we've been through it. Another thing is, every other kid is feeling the exact same way, which I mean doesn't really prove your point, but so I don't know. I just think that they need to actually listen and actually not just see it as, oh, we were here, we know what it's like, you'll be fine.
Right.
Or every other kid's doing it and they're getting through just fine, you'll be fine. I think that, even if everyone else has done it, even if they have been kids before and have gone through it, they need to accept that you don't really care if they've been through it. You don't really care if everyone else is going through it. The point is you're going through it. And that's what you want them to know.
Man, that was heavy. Well done. Well done.
Came from the heart.
Ella, what do you think?
I'm piggyback off of Luke. It's like I'm all the time getting like, I was in high school once, like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, it's a new generation. They didn't have phones. When my parents were in high school, they didn't have cell phones. I mean, just...
Social media?
Yeah, social media. There's a lot of things that have changed in like curriculum, social dynamics and stuff. And some of it's the same, but some of it just needs to be like, okay, I'm listening. I'm putting all my past high school memories on the side because it is different.
Yeah.
No one's experience is the same.
I think our parents are going to talk to us at some point now.
There's a lot less flannel now than there used to be. So, Alyssa, what do you think?
It's just everybody goes through things differently, and everybody has their own things that they do. I guess from like personal, there's a whole lot of like if you're like really involved, you have a whole lot of stuff that's like packed on you. And I guess from a senior standpoint of you're trying to go into like start life, so you're trying to figure out college or trying to figure out jobs and do clubs and everything. It's just balancing everything plus having your, I guess, just personal life. It's kind of a lot to balance, and nobody goes through the same stuff as you. They might have done the same stuff as you, but it affects everybody differently on how they feel about stuff.
Excellent. Kylee, finish us out.
I feel like there's like a generational gap. Like, yeah, you might have like got bullied back when you were in high school, but I feel like it's got worse, like over time. And like Alyssa said, like it's like hard to balance your life too.
Right. And it's just different. I know. And I'm as guilty as you talk about your parents, and I'm as guilty as them. Coming out the other side of being a teenager and saying, oh, I know it seems bad now, but it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. It's going to work itself out because it worked itself out for me. So it obviously is going to work the same for you, right? And I will share a little something with you. There is no instruction manual on being a grown-up. I remember when I was a kid, grown-ups acted like they had it all figured out and knew the answer to everything, and so I just figured at some point that would click. It never happens. You're still trying to figure it out no matter how old you are. But you all have shared some amazing insight from your perspective, and I definitely appreciate it. On behalf of EDA, I want to thank you, and I look forward to working more with you all as we move forward and figure out what are some of the next steps we need to take to fix some of these gaps that this survey and that you all have shined a light on. So I just want to say thank you one more time to each of you for taking the time to come and talk to us. We appreciate it very much. I also want to say a quick thank you to Mr. Ethan Moore with Pickup Media Group and WSKV Radio for all of our audio visual setup, and he always does a wonderful job. But again, if you're interested in taking a look at the results from our youth survey from last spring that hopefully we'll be doing again next spring, so we can kind of see how things have changed. You can head over to www.estill.org/youth-report and take a look at all of it. Just go to estill.org. You can link over from there. But again, I'm Joe Crawford with Estill Development Alliance, and we appreciate you tuning in. See you next time.